Hey everyone, this is Sarah with Hardcore Vigilante Studios coming at you to answer the most asked question in the universe: what if ramen was an assassin? So when I knew I wanted to create a concept design video inspired by ramen, one of my favorite meals, I asked my followers on Instagram if I should do a sea creature monster or if I should do an assassin, and I was outvoted and everyone chose assassin, so here we go. So one of the things that I was trying to do in this drawing was to turn the concept of ramen on its head. I didn't want to use the noodles as one of the main features in my character just because the ramen noodles are such a signature characteristic of the meal that I felt like it would kind of be lazy as far as stylistic design is concerned. So I wanted to challenge myself and push myself to not use the noodles as the main character but just use it as like an accent. I decided to use one of the toppings that's kind of just like a little accent in the dish itself, which were the green onions. It kind of fits the profile, right? You barely notice that there are even green onions in your ramen, so they're very stealthy, which is one of the key traits of being an assassin. I mean, being the most obvious assassin is not the way to go. So the concept behind this assassin is she's really just very frustrated with life. She's Japanese and she's very proud of her culture and her cuisine, and it really just frustrates her when people use chopsticks for things other than eating, or when they don't use chopsticks to eat, like they use forks or silverware or something like that. And so when she died, her spirit entered into a bowl of ramen and she took possession over an uncut whole green onion. Yes, and then whenever somebody orders a bowl of ramen and they're like, ooh, can I get like a side of forks or something to go with it, or they put chopsticks in their hair as like a stylistic thing, she rises from the bowl of ramen filled with rage, and she takes the chopsticks and she uses them as weapons of vengeance and stuff like that. So throughout the design you can still see some reminiscences of what I originally wanted to do. I originally did want to make a sea creature. On her dress you can see that she has some little designs for the octopus tentacles, and then even on her arm she has a tattoo of this giant little Kraken Cthulhu type demon just slurping up his ramen. For her clothing and the background, I really wanted to pay homage to those Japanese paintings that you see with all of the detail. Like, they have all of these lines and just the illustration is awesome and beautiful, and there's just so much detail. So that's what I have going on for her dress and a little bit for the background, but I didn't want the background to be so busy that it distracted from her or that the picture just looked like a mess of lines. So the background's a little simpler than her dress. As for the color, since she's a green onion, obviously her skin tone is green, but I try to go a little lighter and fainter with the green as it travels up her body because onions are sort of pale at the top. Also, I didn't want her to look like the Wicked Witch of the West or anything like that, so I went with a couple of layers of green, and then I went over it with a few layers of brown and blues and purples on her legs just to try to like even out the skin tone so it wasn't just like neon green.